We'll change the time.
I'd like to call this meeting to order, Struthers City Council, Wednesday, September 11th, 2024, 7 p.m. Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Mr. Valley?
Here.
Mr. Faes?
Here.
Mr. Beagley?
Here.
Mr. Burnside?
Here.
Mr. Carselli?
Here.
Mrs. Goman is absent. Ms. Pingley? Here. And President Patrick.
Here. Stand for the pledge.
Oh, yeah.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to stand for now a moment of silence for our 911 that happened in 2001 with all the lives that were lost. And also our founder of our Struthers Historical Society, Marion Lisa, passed away recently. And okay, thank you. At this time, I would like a motion to excuse Lori Goman from tonight's meeting. Lonnie makes the motion. Bell seconds that.
Mr. Valley?
Yes.
Mr. Faes?
Yes.
Mr. Beagley? Mr. Burnside?
Yes.
Mr. Carselli?
Yes.
Ms. Pingley? Yes.
Okay, just a little note for you. Marion and her husband and a bunch of volunteers went through a lengthy process to Struthers Historical Society. They eventually acquired the house here on the corner, and they worked tirelessly hours to preserve Struthers history, artifacts that were donated, and give tours, whatnot. So I think, Struthers, suffered a great loss of Marion, and hopefully the existing members can continue on her legacy about storing history and bringing new stuff in and enticing people to come in and get involved. Okay, so I think that's a great loss. Okay, I need a motion to dispense with the reading in the minutes of the second regular meeting dated Wednesday, June 26, 2024, except prepared by the clerk. Dallas makes a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Megan seconds that.
Yes. Mr. Valley?
Yes.
Mr. Faes?
Yes.
Mr. Beagley?
Yes.
Mr. Burnside?
Yes.
Mr. Carselli?
Yes.
And Ms. Pingley? Yes.
Communications, we have 6 pieces.
Number 1, Struthers City Auditor's monthly statement of cash position, revenue reports with transfers in and out, and expense transaction ledger reports for the months of June and July 2024, submitted by Christina S. Bull, Struthers City Auditor, on September 9, 2024. Number 2, Struthers Tax Office monthly reports for tax collections for the months of June, July, and August 2024, submitted by Ryan Rogalski, Struthers Tax Commissioner. Number 3, City of Struthers Treasurer reports for the months of June and July 2024, submitted by Mark T. Brenner, Struthers City Treasurer, received September 1st, 2024. And number 4, communication received on July 15, 2024, from Safety Service Director sent to Kevin Walsh regarding 118 South Bridge Street. Number 5 is anonymous letter received August 13, 2024, submitted regarding Frank Street property that needs cleaned up. Pictures were attached. Number 6, Mayor's report dated Wednesday, September 11th, 2024, submitted by Mayor Catherine Schickler.
Okay, Council, you heard the reading and communication. Need a motion to receive and file. Ricky makes a motion.
Make a motion.
Dallas seconds that.
Mr. Valley?
Yes.
Mr. Faes?
Yes.
Mr. Beagley?
Yes.
Mr. Burnside?
Yes.
Mr. Carselli?
Yes.
Ms. Pink? Yes.
Okay, thank you. Mayor's report was read in our caucus. Does anybody else have anything they wish to add or ask? Or the mayor? Not? Report of standing committees.
Finance and Legislation Committee meeting to be held September 18th at 6 o'clock.
Any other committees? none, we're going to go into legislation. Anyone in the audience wish to address council on legislation only at this time? You're welcome to do so by coming up to the podium, state your name and address for the record. If none, number one, Megan.
Yes. Number one, an ordinance authorizing the city of Struthers to enter into an agreement with Himley and Horn and Associates to provide professional engineering services for a management plan for the Struthers sanitary sewer overflows not to exceed $45,070 from the SBO fund and declaring an emergency.
Okay, council, you heard the reading of the ordinance. Need a motion to suspend the rules of council, place the ordinance up for passage. Ron makes a motion. Val seconds that.
Second.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Bays?
Yes.
Mr. Beagley?
Yes.
Mr. Burnside?
Yes.
Mr. Purcelli?
Yes.
Ms. Campbell? Yes.
Questions or comments on the suspension? Need a motion passes read.
Pass as
Ron,
read. Second.
Val seconds that.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Bays?
Yes.
Mr. Beagley?
Yes.
Mr. Burnside?
Yes.
Mr. Purcelli?
Yes.
Ms. Campbell? Yes.
Okay, number two, Megan.
Yes. Number two, these will go three readings. Number two, an ordinance creating section 521.20 of the Struthers Codified Ordinance prohibiting the use of generators except for during power outages during a temporary unavailability of electricity and/or for periodic testing and necessary maintenance.
Okay, council, you heard the reading of the ordinance. Need a motion passes the second reading. Bob makes a motion.
Second.
Megan seconds that.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Bays?
Yes.
Mr. Beagley?
Yes.
Mr. Burnside?
Yes.
Mr. Purcelli?
Yes.
Ms. Campbell? Yes.
Okay, number three is a resolution.
Number three, a resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of Struthers to submit an application to participate in the Ohio Department of Natural Resources Nature Works Grant Program and declaring an emergency.
Okay, council, you heard the reading of the resolution. Need a motion to suspend the rules of council, place the resolution up for passage. Ricky makes a motion.
Make a motion?
Ronnie seconds that.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Bays?
Yes.
Mr. Beagley?
Yes.
Mr. Burnside?
Yes.
Mr. Purcelli?
Yes.
Ms. Campbell? Yes.
Questions, comments on the suspension? Passes read.
Most passes red.
Pass as read. Second.
Mr. Ballard?
Yes.
Mr. Bays?
Yes.
Mr. Beagley?
Yes.
Mr. Burnside?
Yes.
Mr. Purcelli?
Yes.
Ms. Campbell? Yes.
Unfinished business. New business. Report of our law director, John.
I have none.
Questions or comments for our law director? Our auditor's absent. Our safety director read his report in our office. Is there any other questions or comments that we need to ask our safety director?
Question for the.
Hold on. It's not your turn yet.
Sure.
Nothing? Okay, now, anyone wishing to address council, you need to come up to the podium, state your name and address for the record.
Very good.
Kind of get your point out, you know, if we need
We
to set
got,
up
we got about 3 minutes or so.
about 3 minutes,
Yeah.
but I know you're the only one here, so.
Sure,
We
appreciate it.
won't.
Yeah, thank you. My name is Eric Rauschenbach, 266 Broad Street. I want to say hello to everybody. I hope you had a good summer. Glad to see you all back in session. I was watching the caucus meeting tonight, and there seemed to be some questions pertaining to the project of 118 South Bridge Street. I have to be careful as a citizen or resident to remember that there's a difference between council and the administration. And we mostly communicate with the administration, the mayor's office, and I don't think a lot of that has been accurately relayed to council. So, brief overview. Again, I hope that all of you guys know how to contact me. You're welcome to contact me anytime at all. Please, whether it's Facebook, email, phone number, I've got a lot of your phone numbers. Please, if you have questions or something seems a little off or not quite right, you seem like you're not getting the right answer, please contact me directly. Now, quick overview. Back in October of 2023, we started working with an architect to come up with a plan for the redevelopment of 118 South Bridge Street. We threw around a ton of ideas. The most practical idea to address address egress and fire safety was to build fire towers on the exterior of 118 South Bridge. Before we paid the architect approximately $35,000 to prepare this engineered set of drawings that any of you are welcome to look at any time, before we did that, our architect contacted the mayor and safety service director to confirm that we could move forward with said plan. Since October of 2023, we've attempted to exchange correspondence with the city of Struthers to obtain permission to build on that property. We are not currently able to do anything with that property at all because our final set of building plans shows us building on property that we don't own. We cannot get our building permit. We have a phased building permit available, but we can only go so far with that. We can't get the full building permit until the city stands by their word and gives us permission to build on that property. Until then, we're dead in the water. So the concern, they're not doing anything down there. What's going on with that project? The city told us that we can build on that property. We haven't gotten formal permission to do so. As such, the building department in Mahoning County will not give us a building permit. We are stuck. We cannot do anything at all until we make an agreement with the city of Struthers that allows us to use that property. Again, we've spent $35,000 on construction plans. We'd love to move forward with that. Proof of funds. I also want to clarify, the city never asked us to provide proof of funds. I have no correspondence to that. I contacted the mayor and I offered to provide some kind of proof of funding. I provided a letter from our lender. They want to work with us. They're very excited. They want to work more in this region. They will not give us final permission until we have a building permit that shows we can build on that land. So it's kind of a catch-22. Again, we've been corresponding with the mayor's office since at least November of 23. Many of our emails and phone calls go unanswered and unresponded to. So we really need to address this. We'd love to purchase that property from the Struthers Land Reutilization Program. We only need a 15-foot wide by 100-foot long sliver, and that will allow us to build these stair towers that's going to allow us to have safe occupancy for that building and bring it up to current fire code. Do you guys have any questions for me right now?
And Eric, if you ever need to get a hold of council,
Yeah.
you feel like we're not getting information or anything, there always, any letter or correspondence you're gonna write, you email or write to administration,
Yeah.
always CC Megan or CC council.
Perfect.
That way it'll be in our mailbox on Wednesday when we get here, and we'll all at least have the same information.
Okay, good, good. That's excellent.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Yes.
Your prints that you have,
Yes.
when were they prepared? Before you removed one board or one window?
No, so the way it works in Mahoning County, go on,
So before you even started this project, you had no prints, no plans, or nothing?
correct.
That's a no-no.
I'm sorry, can you
That's
repeat
a
that?
no-no. Before you start,
Yep,
I just put a building up.
sure.
And
A
before
new
I get,
construction building that's worth noting.
because that's going to be a gathering place of people.
Correct.
Before you start, and you remove one nail,
Mhm.
you are to have your prints and stuff in place. You don't do it halfway through your project.
Michael brings up a very important point, and quite frankly, that's incorrect. This is a renovation, not a new construction project. So what we had to do, the very first thing we did is obtain a demolition permit. That allowed us to do the dissecting necessary to determine the state of the building. As soon as we did our preliminary demolition, we had a structural engineer assess the building. It was at that point, after we'd done the demo, that he was able to come up with a plan, an assessment and a plan. We called him very first, and he said, I can't tell you anything. This place is filled with stuff. I can't see anything. We can't do a set of plans. You need to do all of the demolition work. We'll assess the structure, the structural steel, the masonry, the framing, and then come up with a plan from there. So, again, during the conceptual phase, when we were trying to determine the final layout of the building, we consulted with the mayor's office. The mayor's office gave us their blessing that we could move forward with the exterior stair towers, and that's why we did this plan. At that point, had the city said, no, sorry, you can't do the exterior stair towers, we would have gone a different direction and come up with a different set of plans. So I hear you, new construction, absolutely. You're going to start with your set of drawings, and a renovation project, especially this scale, given the nature of the building, start with the demolition permit, do the dissecting, make an assessment, and then you can come up with the final set of plans. But thank you.
I kind of disagree with you. When you do a major removal of structure, which is going to house people, I do think
Yeah.
you do have to have.
And you can disagree with me. This isn't me or anybody else. This is the Mahoning County Building Department and the building director. So whether you believe me or not, it's just the way that it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, all I'm going to say is I think the safety director, law director are having a meeting tomorrow, Bob, and when they come up with the meeting, I'm sure somebody
Sure.
will be shared.
Yeah. Again, if you ever need me to be present at those meetings, there's been a huge lapse in correspondence and communication, you know, so I willingly provided the letter from our lender that was never requested from us, and then just today I received a letter from the law director stating that they had requested that. So there's a lot of inaccuracies, there's a huge lapse in delay in communication. So when these conversations are happening, if I need to be present at these meetings, if my attorney needs to be present, these are all things that I'm very happy to comply with. All right?
Was there something about leasing that property that was discussed?
I've heard discussions of that. That was
Okay.
never relayed to me from the safety service director or the mayor. We are absolutely happy to do that. At this point, whatever it takes for us to move forward with this project. It's been a long time since we've been able to push forward with this. It costs us a lot of money just to own that property, and insurance, and utilities, and upkeep. So even though there's nothing happening, we're still paying out a lot of money just to merely own it. So we really want to get this thing done. We want to get the building back to our community, get businesses in there, and make sure that we can all enjoy it, and start generating revenue. We are a business. We need to make money. It's expensive to own that real estate.
Is there no other option in terms of staircases, in terms of putting them internally instead of adding on to the building?
There absolutely are, but when we had those conversations with the mayor's office in the preliminary conceptual phase, that should have been addressed then. They gave us their blessing that we could do the exterior towers. We paid $35,000 for a set of plans. But we have to revise these plans now, unfortunately, because we have a full set of mechanical and structural plans. It's not merely doing some scribbling. We have to do an entirely new set because those towers now need to come inside of the building. They eat up an enormous amount of square footage.
You know, that
And it
building had
changes.
steps on the inside originally.
What's that?
That building originally had steps on the inside.
They did, and they wouldn't meet current fire and safety codes. So by doing these exterior stair towers, it allows us to bring this building up to code and make sure that every single level is safely accessible and occupied. So in the event of an emergency, we can safely get everybody out of the structure. Yeah, the steps that were inside of the building, well, you guys have seen the building, it's a shell. We of course wanted to save whatever we could to preserve the historic value, but unfortunately the building was in such poor condition that we had to take it to the state that it's in now.
Your issue now is the fact that if you can't get that property,
Yeah.
those plans are void and you're
Yeah.
back at square
Yeah.
one.
These plans, we would have to throw them in the trash,
Yeah.
we'd be out $35,000, we'd have to start this process all over again. It would be at least 6 months before we could do anything at all in that building. It's the end of summer, we lost an entire summer due to this. You know, like I said, we started this conversation last fall. We would have really loved to have had the towers done this summer, but I kept, my correspondence fell on deaf ears. The mayor, safety service director, and I'm happy to provide this. They never responded. Very rarely did they respond to any of my correspondence, and I honestly don't know what the misunderstanding or difficulty is. But we have the funding in place. We're ready to move forward. Obviously we believe in this project and this community. We really want to make it happen. It's going to be really cool.
What
Eric,
about
am I
the-
correct, I'm sorry, Bob, Eric, am I correct in that there's no written agreement giving you that property?
Unfortunately, you are correct. Yeah, this was a handshake deal in which the mayor and safety service director. Now, our architect does have correspondence, I believe text and maybe email, in which she has their blessing. I have an email from the safety service director. Again, not much, but it says he is confident that we will come up with a solution and be able to make this work. I'll have to go through other emails. This has been going on for nearly a year, so there's a lot of correspondence. But correct, we're just going on the fact that we trusted the mayor and safety service director and their board, what they stand for. Yeah.
Other than that building, the buildings you have on State Street, do you have money to fix those?
Oh, thankfully we do, yes. Those buildings are really cool. So we were
But
really
they
fortunate.
look like crap right now.
They do, yeah. It's all bombed out. We were really fortunate. We were able to receive money from ARPA funds through the county to do exterior improvements. The last of those funds were just encumbered this week. So that project is going to start moving along very quickly. Unfortunately, when we talk about State Street, let's look at the masonry building. The biggest holdup there is that it needs a new roof. The funding for the roof came from the county, thankfully. Again, full transparency. A roof like that's $85,000. At this point, we need to be careful where we spend that money. If they're going to cover the roof, we're not going to. We're going to spend that on interior improvements, right? So we can't do any interior work until the exterior work has been completed. Over the summer, there were some delays with the Mahoning County CIC, the organization that's responsible for dispersing these funds and deciding how they're spent. They had to cancel a couple meetings. That pushed us back. The roof had to go out for public bid. The masonry had to go out, for bid. It's a very arduous process. It's very slow. I've had to really had to take deep breaths and really say, okay, well, I guess this is the way it goes. But yeah, that's absolutely a legitimate concern.
Are the ARP funds solely for the outside of the building?
Yes, the ARPA funds are for exterior facade improvement. Yeah. And so thankfully, the funds will cover those improvements, and we're going to be left with some really beautiful buildings in downtown Struthers. So pretty quickly here, I think we'll see State Street resolve. Yeah. All right. Any other questions? All right. Thank you so much for hearing me out. Again, please, if there are any questions at all, don't hesitate to contact me. I will absolutely utilize the council email in the future. I've got the full set of drawings. If anyone ever wants to look at them, even after the meeting, it's a really neat building. It's going to, really contribute a lot to our city. All right?
I do have another question.
Yeah.
In terms of the confusion, was it originally supposed to be a fire escape that was on the outside of the building?
It is a fire escape, yeah. So technically, the reason we went with the exterior tower is because it's for egress. It's for
Okay, is it a fire escape? I mean, a fire escape meaning, you have metal ladders
Yeah,
and that kind of thing?
those
Or are you
types-
talking about
yeah.
something that's totally enclosed
So
with
currently,
steps?
given current building code, those types of fire escapes are illegal. You're no longer able to build like a sliding metal, like that can't be your main source of egress. So the reason we're building these stair towers the way we are is because they're separated from every level of the building. Say I'm in the basement of the building, there's an emergency, I need to exit. What those stair towers allow me to do is exit the building directly without going through the first floor.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm in a completely contained unit, the fire is still off, I can go upstairs, exit the building, I never had to go through the first floor. Maybe the fire's on the first floor, and I'm on the second floor. I can come downstairs, exit the building, never passing through the first floor. So the fire towers, the stair towers, they're designed to isolate every level of the structure.
Those you want to put in between the building?
Yes. So
Why couldn't you put it on the outside of the building, the other side?
So
Because you own that property, right?
no, we don't. So let's pretend we're looking to the front of 118. So to the left-hand side would be the north side. That is owned by a private individual. We've made many attempts to purchase that land from him. It's been quite the process. We've built a really strong relationship with him. He's not willing to sell. To the south, where we want to build the towers, that land is owned by the Struthers Land Reutilization Program. Again, just to be clear, I double-checked me on this. I believe it's two 25-foot wide lots. I don't think it's been replatted into one 50-foot lot. We're not even asking for a full 25. We just need 15 feet of it. And we are happy to pay for the surveying, and we're happy to pay to take care of any of the replatting cost that we have to file, so we can buy that 15-foot wide by 100-foot sliver so we can build these towers. Okay, we're not asking for free land. We're happy to incur the cost. That's what we need. With that being said, 50 minus 15, the city would hold on to the remaining 35 feet that they can use. We've worked with the Western Reserve Port Authority and some other folks that are working on coming up with a pocket park design for that area to make sure that our design is integrated into that and it meshes seamlessly. It would be a great connection from our building to the community. Between our stair towers, we would have a patio, and then on the second floor, eventually we'd have a second floor outdoor patio that would overlook the park and be available for private events and dining. It's all in the plans, again, we can talk about it, but these are conversations that, preliminary conversations that all happened back in October. Again, we had the blessing of the mayor's office, and it's just taken a long time to do this. So we cannot move forward with that plan until we either purchase or rent that property. Whatever it needs, we're not picky. Whatever, whatever we need to do, but we are able to secure the financing to do this project. We've done as much of the prep work as we can. We're ready to go. We got the plans, so.
Okay. No, I just, as far as part of the confusion and maybe miscommunication, I think it was looking at it as a fire escape and not actual, I mean, when you say fire escape or fire exit or something like that, I'm not thinking that this is going to be the main purpose of these steps is to service the building. I'm thinking this is an emergency on top of what we have inside, so. I mean, is that possibly part of the confusion that took place originally? I mean,
it may be. I wasn't a part of the conversations between the architect and mayor's office. But the reality is, though I'm not, again, not an architect, not an engineer, that style of fire escape, even if it was presumed to be that case, that style of fire escape is no longer legal to build. So even if that was the understanding, they would have been thinking that we'd be building an illegal fire escape. We are not, by the way, again, these drawings here have been prepared by a licensed architect, a licensed structural engineer, and a licensed mechanical engineer. This is not something that we're doing in the backyard with, hammers and old nails we found. This is, these are very
So you said you got the financing for this?
We do, yes.
Which would be the
That is
700,000?
through Bridgeway, yep.
You got a loan through them then? You have access to this?
They are prepared to loan us the money, yes, absolutely. So the trouble right now is they want to see that we can move forward with the plan that we've presented, and we can't. We don't have permission from the city to move forward with the plan that we've presented. Again, it's a catch-22. So that is a letter of interest. We've done the application with Bridgeway. They said, we're ready to go. Let's do it. So, which is so awesome. We're very thankful for that. But again, I think somebody mentioned in the meeting that it's not proof of financing. It's a letter of interest. They won't give us proof of financing until we sign on the line, and we can't sign on the line because we don't have permission to build what we've outlined here.
Let's wait for them to have their meeting.
Absolutely.
And see what their meeting produces, and we'll go from there, okay?
Thank you again so much.
All right.
Thanks, sir.
Appreciate it. Yep.
Anyone else want to address council, you're welcome to do so. Come up, podium, state your name and address for the record. No one? Okay, a reminder of finance meeting, September 18th, 6 p.m. Okay, that's it? Need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Ronnie makes, Dallas makes the motion, Ronnie seconds that.
Mr. Ballard?
yes.
Mr. Bass?
Yes.
Mr. Beagley?
Yes.
Mr. Burnside?
Yes.
Mr. Parcelli?
Yes.
Ms. Pink?